Alright, so I've talked about the top 10 best spawn kill locations of 2018, and now it's time to take a look at the top 10 Pro League tricks. Now, I haven't watched every Pro League game that happened this year. That would be just insane if I had. But out of what I did see, there were some amazing tricks that were introduced to the Siege community this year. As before with my other lists, keep in mind that as I list these tricks off, that these are not the top 10 technically perfect tricks, but my personal favorites that I've learned in 2018. Now, I'm sure you're gonna have a different opinion on what the list should look like. We all know how opinions work, and that's totally fine. If you think there's a trick that should be on the list that you didn't see, then let me know down below what it is. You'll also see me go into games with a lot of these tricks with the newest version of the game, even with the new Christmas skin, just to show you that they're still working as of the time of this upload. So let's jump right into these 10 awesome Pro League tricks.
10.
A lot of teams, like a lot of people, including us, forget that Ying can do this, and
I think
can be extremely effective.
Only time we saw it before was Hungry playing.
Now, way back in the beginning of the year when Pro League still had Chalet in the map pool, I learned that you could use this box in the hall to create an angle that's very difficult to contest. Now, this spot works best if you know that the last attacker or two are coming from the stairs and that they don't have time to rotate around to garage. If you get into a fight while you're holding this angle, you have all that you need to end the round. Number 9 is a Valkyrie camera that is going to be thrown from the bar on Cafe Dostoyevsky all the way through the skylight and onto one of the trees that sticks up on the rooftop. This camera has helped me multiple times, including one spicy trick that you can do is throw a C4 up out of the skylight as they're approaching it, and they will think you are using wall hacks. Even with all the recent changes to the throwing mechanics in Siege lately, this one still works like magic.
8.
Number 8 involves a hidden change to Siege, and I noticed that in some Pro League games recently, they were using iron sights on Hibana and Echo's Bearing 9 SMG. Now, the reason for this is because there seems to be less recoil with the iron sight SMG versus when you put sights on it. Skittles even posted a recent video of him shredding with it, and it's an awesome video. Now, I didn't notice too much of a change when using a compensator with the gun, but once I put the flash hider on, I could easily feel the difference. Obviously, the iron sights on this gun are complete ass, but if you're okay with sacrificing a little bit of sight, then the iron sights are currently the way to go.
7.
Now, I first saw trick number 7 way back at the Atlantic City Finals. What we saw was a couple different players using this insane angle of rappelling upside down, and from here you can literally see all the way to the wall, going through 2 walls and the hatch, and you'll be able to see anybody that's in these very common angles along the wall. You guys are gonna see right here these bullet holes. If anybody is even in these corners over here, they're gonna get completely wiped out. As well as this angle is also one of those rare ones where the person rappelling upside down is going to be able to see the defender before the defender can see them. You're going to see here that I'm going to have to actually walk to this angle in order to see them, and by the time I'm able to see them, I would be dead because they're going to see me from my toes up, whereas I would be walking straight into their fire.
6.
Standard for most teams, especially when Ying have those smokes. Likely push would be from the main lobby, take control of meeting hall. Once you've pushed them out, you've usually got about a minute and a half on the
6 is a throwback to before the old Penta roster switched to G2, and we learned easily the best mute jammer spots for any time you defend downstairs on Oregon. You will be able to deny information on 2 floors, including some of the most common doorways for drones to get around the map. Because these mute jammers are also in common areas where anchors play, you get a huge bonus by easily denying Dokkaebi calls, as well as being able to do small strafes while the Lion drone is active in order for you to peek in and out of the Mira overlooking Laundry. That's a really cool bonus too, because you rarely ever have the opportunity to use mute jammers for that reason.
Five.
At number 5, we learned an insane C4 throw from Mav, who gets a C4 through a wall, then a floor, and then another wall to land on people that break open the hatch and camp above it looking down from the classroom. If you look carefully in this clip, you'll see that the classroom walls are broken open. Now let's listen in real quick and then we'll take a closer look.
A nice attempt. Here comes the late flank though from FaZe. Attic has been opened up almost in its entirety, not in all the way though. Barbed wire instead of the impact grenades from Astro means they're gonna hit a wall. C4 will get Psycho, well tossed from Mav upstairs, but still no rotation potential. And because of that, Astro stuck will get eliminated by WAG, but WAG refragged by Mav, and it's a back and forth here.
Vai.
Explosivo C4, ok.
Boa. Tô escolhendo. O cara aqui vai. A tua câmera.
Polícia me comendo aqui.
Ninguém no corredor.
Alright, so let's take a closer look at exactly what happened with that C4 once it was thrown. In the first clip, you saw that the walls were pre-broken in the classroom in anticipation for a possible opportunity like this one, and once they had the attackers stacked up in classroom overlooking that very common hatch, they made them pay for it with this incredible C4 angle.
Four.
Give a little bit of cover here in favor of FaZe. Trying to take that Valkyrie camera, which just proves elusive so far. Oh, Jonas trying to get it on his stomach, and Yuna will send him to the grave.
Now this camera spot is one of the strongest cameras that you can possibly do on Bank. We saw this one from the most recent Pro League tips where G2 faced FaZe Clan in Brazil in the Pro League finals. Now the power of this camera spot was on display. First of all, they completely knew that the camera was there. They were trying to take it out and they couldn't get an angle onto it based on the type of placement that it is. You can see that this covers all the main areas as well as the most popular place to plant downstairs once they blow up the wall. Now on top of that, I'm going to show you 2 extra cameras so that you guys can have a full setup from anybody attacking from this side of the map. This doesn't cover garage, so if you want to change one out, feel free to go throw an extra camera in the garage. On either of these bushes is a great spot to place a camera. I like to do the parkour one that we did a few months back where you jump up on top of the railing and throw it on top because then the plants protect it so well. The other one is going to be in server room, and this one blends in so well with the environment as well as you get so much coverage of the room. It really complements the whole camera setup.
Three.
Now in at number 3 is a great counter to one of the most popular mirror spots in all of Siege. There's going to be a couple different ways to do this. This first method, we're going to be bouncing a grenade all the way from master bedroom, lining it up with the hole that's pretty much always placed next to the mirror. It's going to be bouncing off of the countersink, going through the hole and taking out the mirror player. Now, of course, if they have an ADS, then that's not really going to work so good. But if that's the case, then you can bounce the grenade and actually just get it to hit the wooden surface and not go through the hole. And then by doing that, there's a lot of splash damage that's still going on. Now you're going to see right here, this is what it would look like even if the grenade doesn't fly up crazy high. Just it landing next to the wall does huge damage.
2,
Now taking the number 2 spot is a C4 trick that you can use when defending on Cafe Dostoyevsky, and while this throw can look pretty complicated with the different pieces of wood going above the reinforced wall, once you land this C4 throw once or twice, you will have it down for guaranteed kills every time. Anybody that's outside of the mining window is gonna get a nice C4 surprise. Just simply take a look at where I place my crosshairs with the colored lines I put on screen, and you will be yeeting a C4 into the crotch of your next victim, especially the Blackbeards that sit on the windows for 11 minutes per round. Now, even with the new throwing mechanics and then placing C4s in what they call the heavy throwing bracket, this still works exactly the same. You're going to see me take the exact same rules from the previous clip and incorporate it into the current update with my new Christmas skin. This is going to get you guaranteed kills.
One.
Now at number 1 is an entire mirror setup on bank mixed with a few different wall tricks to go along with it. This first section is something that you can use in many different spots when you use Morrow. First off, we're going to be placing a mirror on a soft wall, and did you know that you can shoot out 1/2 of the drywall from underneath of the mirror in order to create what looks like a fully intact wall on the other side, but in actuality you now have an insane angle and way to look up, which gives you an entirely new angle to use while on this specific mirror window. Take this angle looking up the hatch, for example. This alone will net you kills on this site. Now, because we have a soft wall mirror, we're placing the second one inside of the lockers directly behind it on a reinforced wall. Now, if they do happen to use a ton of utility on the soft wall mirror, you can now still get shots and C4 inside of the server when needed. By placing the mirror directly behind the soft wall one, there's also a small gap on the east side of the lockers that sticks out and makes it a little bit more difficult for attackers from the garage to shoot out the canister. The rest of the setup is very simple and just shooting out the bottoms of the soft walls on the right in order to give us an angle on anybody dropping from the hatch and open area. That will be one free kill because they won't be able to see you in lockers once they drop from that hatch. Once the other bottom of the wall is broken out, you can also get an angle from lockers to behind the bomb, which is not expected because most people think that they are safe from shots and just watch out for C4s once they're in. Now that's just the tip of the iceberg. Once you stack this on with a good Valkyrie camera setup like the one from before, you guys have the bottom site completely locked down on bank. Anyways, you guys, I hope you guys liked this top 10 list. Let me know what other top 10s you might want to see for 2018. I'll see you guys all very soon in the next video. Have a great new year. 2018 has been awesome. I love you guys all. Peace.